Hi, Prick the Cactus here for RageWin for another Rage review. There are a few horror movies nowadays that don't instantly descend into chaotic hilarity from the starter shot. Is Hollywood finally catching on that people just don't take horror movies seriously anymore? If we ever did, why shoot for the stars when you're always gonna land in the fucking sewer and get molested by Pennywise? Happy Death Day could have taken full advantage of its predicament, like a passed-out sorority girl, but instead it chose to shamelessly imitate a much better movie. If it didn't come tagged as a horror, it's quite possible I'd let it slide as a sly spoof of Groundhog Day. Just from the trailer, you can already tell this is going to be about as pulse-quickening as hitting an e-cig on your lunch break. Do yourself a favor. If you're going to pay money to see this unflushed turd in a Walmart handicap stall, leave your brain at home. Totaling your SUV with your daughter's soccer team on the way to the movies will save yourself the $85 you could have spent on Blade Runner. The lead character, of course, is played by a hot blonde chick named Tree, and surprise, surprise, she's a stuck-up sorority whore. One day, she wakes up in a dorm room with a random guy, gets murdered later that night, then finds herself in the same dorm the next morning. Next morning. Sound familiar? Well, settle in, because the similarities don't end there. At no point does the story make any attempt to subvert our expectations. There is no tension buried in the premise. This is a cheap fucking remake of Groundhog Day. Only difference is there's a knife and a vagina. Two things that should show blood, but they never do. Instead of a wisecracking reporter, we get a prom slut straight out of Mean Girls. The whole movie I was thinking, hey, there's a killer after you, could you maybe save the daddy drama for later? Who cares about fucking Kyle Sixpack? There is no, why are you trying to be a better person? Why are all of these scenes here? It's all filler. Get to the killing. I feel like it'd be much more daring if Tree didn't stick to the script of, oh, karma, shit, I gotta change who I am. If she didn't change and became more ruthless and hateful, then this movie would be onto something. It's all about tracking down her killer and getting to him before he gets to her. I want to know how she's gonna corner him. I'm not asking, will she bone the nice guy in the button-ups? We already know the fucking answer. We learn that the killer is in no way interconnected with the time loop. So Tree just makes it so easy for him to kill her every time, and these are the parts of the movie that genuinely made me laugh. Not because they're creative, because they're genuinely pathetic. She might as well serve herself in a fucking platter with an apple in her mouth, and she's killed in the weakest of ways. Stab, 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 oh, you're dead, beep, beep, beep. It's like watching children play jabbing each other with inflatable swords. Or sticks. Even for a PG-13, this is soft. Kirby's death is more graphic. The setup is lousy, and the aftermath of the final showdowns is irredeemable. The police in this movie are inept pussies. They only exist when the movie doesn't need them, and disappear when they should be swarming. It's the weirdest plot hole. And the killer is a fucking afterthought. He prances around on a fat baby mask, and he's an escaped convict. That's all we know. I was waiting for him to hide in the curtains and under the rug like Scary Movie, but the script is so hold-your-hand mile-markered with point A, point B mechanics, it's almost mathematically dull, but not a complex equation. This is the grandpa trick with the two fingers. Like, oh, how did he do that? Oh! And it passes up a great opportunity to embrace its own absurdity. It sucks as a comedy. As a thriller, it couldn't frighten a toddler on PCP. You really expect me to come off this lame kiddie coaster with a grin on my face, glad I wasted 20 tickets on the friendly Caterpillar ride? We get a few brief glimpses of the girl coming into her own and laying down, well, not even traps, just having somewhat of a plan, I guess, strategizing ways to one-up her secret admirer. But we never see her thinking about them. It literally cuts from a fucking diner scene with the boy toy to her tying up her hair and becoming a fucking ninja. This movie had a real shot at being a clever cat and mouse face-off, but it doesn't think anything through. There's no reason for anything to happen in this movie. Stupid, lazy hack writing. It feels like a fucking Disney Channel movie 75% of the time when the killer seems like he's a million miles away sipping daiquiris on a tropical island. The plot holes start to accumulate like the student loan debt in the last half hour and turns what could have stayed a mildly entertaining diversion into a pants pocket full of shit. Best thing I can say about it is that the performances are half decent, but a milk spill is scarier than this trash. My expectations weren't even all that high, and this movie clumsily paints itself into a corner over and over and over and over and 3 days later over and over. You get my point. It's so fucking dumb, made all the more annoying by the screeching 12-year-old cunts who stole their mom's credit card and used it on all 6 of them. The dialogue outside of the film was more exciting than the movie. They audibly screamed in high pitches at parts in the movie where the killer wasn't even omnipresent, and another guy would go, "Shut the fuck up!" And I go, "Yeah!" My fucking ghetto-ass theater. I was ready to start a popcorn fight. Boring. Happy Death Day is only watchable as a bad comedy in parts, but it's not bad enough. It's too much of a retread. I've seen this exact same rom-com bullshit so many times before. If you take a couple of Xanax, you can probably kill all necessary brain function that would prevent you from liking this piece of shit. But in my book, Happy Death Day gets a 3 out of 10. Hey fam, prick the cactus for Ragewin. Please subscribe, share, follow me on Twitter, follow all my links, follow me in real life. I don't give a fuck. So we can win back the hearts and minds of drone youth who do not think for themselves. Be an inspiration, join the revolution, fight for what's right today.